Let's analyze together Globalstar. Let's analyze why it's going up, Enrique.
And why the pre-market is going lower. Let us know in the comments your opinion about this stock. First of all, remember to read disclaimer right here and also in the description below. Wow, this chart seems very interesting. This is the first time that we see it on Australia right here. So if you have more information about it, please share it with us in the comments below and we can all learn together. We will take a look at the technical side, but first of all, let's go with the kind of fundamentals of the news. We have right here the headlines for GSAT. The first one right there from Benzinga. Why this stock is surging Monday? Let's see what's going on. Right here, you can see what to know, the key facts. Under the new terms of the updated services agreement, Apple will prepay up to $1.1 billion to Globalstar, funding the construction, launch, and operation of the new MSS network. This funding will cover costs for new satellites, expanded growth facilities, and broader MSS licensing globally. Apple will also invest $400 million to acquire a 20% stake in Globalstar's newly created subsidiary, Globalstar's licensee, which will own and operate this network. Very interesting, this partnership. We said if you have more information, you know about it, let us know in the comments below so we can all learn together. But this seems promising, at least from what we can see right here. We're talking about Apple, very important company, of course, you know about it. And we don't know this company, but they have this agreement. This should be due to something.
Wow, this is impressive, and I gotta tell you guys, just like when we see like a participation like that from a big company, and especially we're talking about Apple, and Apple doesn't invest in companies that doesn't have value. In this case, they are still like a future value for this company because obviously we go to the fundamentals and let's analyze it closely. And the company is in losses. It has it's always in losses. You can clearly see that maybe it was in profits back in March 2018, but the rest of the quarters there were losses. So obviously that's not positive, but the losses aren't huge, and that's the thing. If we have like investors such as Apple pushing the price and so they can expand their business, that could be huge, for the company.
Yeah, exactly. Something to take into account. So if you have more information, please share it with us. As we mentioned, this is the first time that we see this information, and we think it's interesting to share it with you, with our audience, honest traders. And going to the forecast right there with the fundamentals, the same section. You have three analysts offering 1 year price forecast for Globalstar Inc. The maximum one is $5, 174%. The average between the three of them, 78%, 3.25, and the minimum one minus 45%, around $1. Wow, what a mix, of opinions right there. We will see if this changes, if this is updated or not with the new information from the news. And how do you think this could go? Do you agree with this analysis, the positive side, the negative, the middle? What is your opinion about this stock? We are very, very interested in knowing about it.
Yeah, the thing right here is like the revenue. You can clearly see right here below. It's gonna remain constant in that sense. So in order to see growth, we need like maybe in 2027 is like where we see a little bit of growth. We're talking about like 100 million more of revenue just in 2027. So we had to wait a little bit, but obviously the year 2024 it didn't finish yet, but it's gonna be very, very similar to the last year, and the next 2 years are gonna be very similar. So obviously this is like a leap of faith in that sense, because when you invest in a company that is not experiencing like a huge growth, you don't know if it's gonna happen in the future. Maybe in 2027 it happens, but you had to stay and hold the position for several years in order to see that growth, and maybe it doesn't happen. And if it doesn't happen, you don't get profits.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation. We will see how it goes. Let us know in the comments your opinion about it and your forecast if you have one. And let's see in the daily chart again. This last movement, it had a lot of volume. You can clearly see right here the price being traded. It went up more than 60% to the current price of the pre-market, around 60%. And the volume, you can see we're using volume candles. The bigger the volume, the higher the candle. We have the cut right there, analyzing GSAT also. And you can see the volume has been higher than in previous trading session. So very interesting. We'll see how it goes, how it develops, if this hype continues and the volume is there. We also have the earnings and revenue according to this data, the 7th of November. We will see if that is in that date they are released or not, but around that data they should be released according to the past information. And going to the weekly time frame, let's see a very fast technical approach right there. We can clearly see like the price had been trading during this last year since 2021 with that vertical line you can see
Wow.
what I'm talking about. In this kind of pattern, we could talk about a kind of a triangle. It depends how you want to classify it, but it's a very, very interesting accumulation period right there.
Well, indeed, and I'm very, very surprised because this is like a perfect pattern, you know, perfect triangle right there. It's like we're talking about like uptrends of more than 200% every time it happens. Obviously, right now it's a little bit a little bit lower. You're talking about like a plus 92% since that lows established back in a couple of weeks ago. So obviously, I wouldn't buy the stock above that above this resistance level of the triangle because obviously this is when you can experience the most risk. It's better to buy at the bottom, you know, and it makes sense. And it's just like, do I have to buy just at $1? No, I mean there are different levels that you can establish. I would say something around, let's just draw it right here, between 124 and 0.88. In that sense, that's like good area to buy the stock, you know, following this pattern obviously.
Yeah, how do you see this pattern? Do you agree with the opinion of Alvaro? Do you have a different one in mind? Do you use technical analysis or not? Because sometimes some people just use the fundamentals. I don't know where do they buy. Maybe they just see, okay, this is good. I buy here. I think that most people that mistaken, you know, the have a mistaken look at technical analysis, like they think it is just based in only the price action, but you can take into account everything. This can be like a holistic approach, and you can see, okay, I think this company is going good. Where do I place my entries? That's using technical analysis in a way, you know. So how do you see technical analysis, fundamental analysis? Do you use everything? Do you have a holistic approach as we normally use in trading HT, or what is your opinion? Honest traders, and having this pattern in mind, I think this is a very interesting moment, a key moment indeed.
Yeah, and look at that. We have right here a long position. Imagine that you buy the stock at this particular moment, which is we're talking about pre-market moves, and it's right now at 1.75. If you buy the stock at this particular moment, this is the risk that you are facing, and this is the problematic thing, you know, because based on past experience, maybe the best after we can experience for the moment is like 22%, but you are risking 45%, and so that's a 0.51 ratio. It's not worth it at this moment. A different story would be like buying at the bottom. Look at that. You buy at the bottom, you can experience like a downturn of 10%, but you can get like 100%. That's a reasonable ratio at 10 to 1. So that's very good. Very different. And it always happens. You know, it's like you have to be very patient. Now maybe it's a little bit too late in terms of risk management, but you had to wait for the best moment to buy the stock, and you have to be patient.
Course, this is Alvaro's opinion. Maybe you have a different one, so let us know in the comments below. And yeah, in trading there are always different approaches, but if you buy at this, you have to keep in mind the risk that is involved in the trade that you are taking. Of course, that's for sure. And if you buy at highest prices, maybe you take the opportunity, and if you don't, maybe you lose it. So in all scenarios are positive and negative sides. It will all depend in your technical analysis, your fundamental analysis, your psychological mind map, you know, and everything related. That's why I love trading. And I think Alvaro agrees with this. It's kind of an art, you know. It's like there is no perfect strategy or perfect trading approach. It's like an art, and you have to experience it and to become better with time and with trades.
Thank you very much, guys, and see you in the next video. Subscribe.
Let's go, Brain HT.